Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Ankita,
Yes, sir.
73rd and 74th Amendment,
Yes, sir.
these amendments have secured the political decentralization.
Yes, sir.
But administrative decentralization, that dream is yet to be fulfilled. What is your comment on this and how these amendments can become effective?
So the 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments helped in bringing the grassroots democracy to the people, and it has strengthened the local bodies and even the panchayats. So sir, it's true that there has been political decentralization, but again for administrative decentralization we need to have a greater transfer of funds, because there is lack of funds with these bodies.
Yeah.
And again, many of the functions are not being transferred to these local bodies because the state does not want to give up on those powers.
So I think you mean to say, in brief,
Yes, sir.
there is the problem of funds, functions and functionaries.
Yes, sir.
Those three
Yes, sir.
categories of problems.
Yes, sir.
And how should they be, what is your recommendation? If you have to recommend, how should they be solved?
So there should be enough grant of funds that should be given to these bodies, like in the State Finance Commission or even in the Central Finance Commission that we have. There is the provision of grants from the center directly to the local bodies.
Right.
And sir, even these bodies should be empowered to generate their own resources, because
Which they are.
Yes, sir, they are. And they should not always be dependent on the grants on aids. And so for the functions part, like the 12th schedule and the 11th schedule mentions that there are certain provisions that need to be mandatorily done by the local bodies.
But
And-
it has not been assigned to them.
Yes,
There is
sir.
a problem of agencyfication.
Yes, sir.
Just read up on that.
Okay.
So that will give you a good perspective.
Sure, sir.
One additional question. In urban local bodies elections, the political parties are allowed to participate.
Yes.
But not so in case of the rural bodies. Should the political parties be allowed to contest directly in those elections as well? What is your view?
Sir, in my opinion, political parties should have this freedom to even participate in the local bodies, because again, if we see that the people from the local bodies again rise to the higher levels, so that can be one factor. And
So it affords an opportunity of political training.
yes, sir.
The participation affords an opportunity of political training to
Yes,
the
sir.
grassroots level
Yes,
participants in democracy.
True, sir.
Okay. Now, Indian constitution is said to be unitary in spirit and federal in nature. Can you please elucidate on this very briefly?
Sir, Indian constitution is very unique in the various aspects. So it has various unitary features, like we have the unitary feature like the emergency provisions, or we have integrated judiciary, independent and integrated judiciary. But at the same time, there are other federal features as well, like we have the Rajya Sabha, which is the Council of States, and sir, it's a mix of both unitary and federal features.
Okay, I will advise just
Yes.
brush it up.
Yes,
You
sir, I
must
need
have,
to.
last time you must have seen it in September. So it's a good idea to just
Yes, sir.
be in touch with it again.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, there's a Ukraine war going on.
Yes, sir.
Russia is isolated. The Chinese president went to Russia, visited
Yes,
there. And some kind of a statement or some kind of a message has come out of this visit. So what kind of a message, what do you read in his visit there?
So the Chinese President Xi Jinping, he went with a peace plan to offer plan to go with a ceasefire between the Russia and Ukraine, and a more dialogue and diplomatic measure should be undertaken to stop the war, because it is not benefiting anyone.
Is that what the message come out of this visit?
Sir, moreover, the message that has come out is that Russia is not isolated, China is on its side, and a new alliance, a Russia-China axis is also being formed.
And India has also been neutral in this war. So, with this visit of Chinese president, does it eat into India-Russian diplomatic space?
So that is true that India has tried to balance between the Western powers and the Russia, and with China growing very close to Russia, it will to some extent affect the Indian relations. But again, the Indian relation goes back to a very long friendship test that has been tested the test of time. So we do have good cooperation with Russia on various fronts, but we need to again maintain a balance between our relations with Russia.